Scoreboard wild only begins to describe Georgia, Alabama, in Tuscaloosa. First quarter, Trevor Matich. This is Jalen Milroe on the keeper.
And Alabama came out on fire on offense. Big play after big play, left a touchdown after touchdown.
That throw to Jam Miller was right on the money.
And Jam Miller's a running back. And he had that defender right there. I mean, it was not just a great throw, it was a great over-the-shoulder catch.
Creative play calling. Here's Jeremy Bernard's 7-yard touchdown run. This was total domination. It was 21-0. Second quarter, 4th and 1. Milroe, it's 28-0.
In the first half, Milroe looked like Superman. He looked faster and stronger than anybody on the Georgia defense.
Third quarter, 30-7. Still no chance for the Dogs, but Carson Beck, Arian Smith, 30-15. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. Beck, Lawson Lucky. Trevor, it's a 2-score game.
And it was the arm of Carson Beck that brought them back. He ended up with over 400 yards passing in this game.
7 minutes to go. Beck, Arian Smith, complete down to the 1. Georgia would punch it in, cut the lead to 5. 3 minutes to go. Here's Beck to Dylan Bell for the lead.
Double move. Bell started inside, cut back outside, and took advantage of a young safety.
Georgia comes back from 28-0 down to go up 34-33. They kick it off. Alabama's turn. Milroe to Ryan Williams.
And what a play this is. I mean, great job by Williams to find that ball because the defensive back had no idea where the ball was. If he did, he could have picked it off.
The exceptional true freshman takes it 74 yards. Alabama back on top, but there's a ton of time. Beck, Colby Young on 4th down, and then Beck to Lucky. The Dogs executed down the stretch.
They did, and they got back into position to be able to tie this game up and send it to overtime.
Down inside the 20, still tons of time. Beck is going to look to tie it, but Xavier Brown makes the game-saving interception.
And that was a great job by Brown to locate the football. This ball was thrown too far inside. If it was thrown farther outside to his big receiver, it could have been a touchdown.
Jalen, what a turn of events. What's going through your mind at the end of the game there? Your defense is trying to make a play.
The biggest thing that we have on our team is grit, determination, is commitment from everyone on the team. Offense, defense, all clicking on all cylinders. We've been trusting upon one another. And that's so important when we play great teams like Georgia. We knew it was going to be a fourth-quarter ball game. It's all about trusting in our level of training, never rising to the occasion. So I thought that was very important. And I'm just proud of the defense, proud of our offense, just constantly just going and attacking.
You started this game and put a lot of points on the boards by being quick and using your legs. You finished the game by having great accuracy. Tell me how you balance both.
And then the biggest thing is having eye discipline. And it all factors into practice. You know, Coach DeBoer talks about eye discipline, being keyed into your details. And I think that's so important when we play a team like this and then falling back to, back practice and then building upon that. So I think that's so important. And it was a key factor into our success today.
Georgia had taken the lead in this ball game. You take the field. Tell me what you saw on that play with Ryan Williams.
It's all about matchup. You know, find your one-on-one, find your matchups. And those plays is something we call pat snatch at practice. You know, this is something we repetition. You know, it's so important. It's all about trust. And I trusted Ryan Williams and I gave him a play on the ball.
It's early to play a team like Georgia, but how does this win give your team momentum moving forward?
I think it's so important. You know, every game that we have, we want to keep building. You know, not one game can be our best game. We just got to keep climbing, keep getting better. I think that's so important for our team.
You are electric tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Roll Tide!
There's a lot of that in Tuscaloosa tonight. Trevor, we could spend the next hour breaking down this game. Alabama led 28-0. Georgia comes all the way back to take the lead. 3 minutes to go. What happened on that Milroe to Ryan Williams game-winning touchdown?
Well, Milroe trusted Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old, to make a play. And he did in part because the defender didn't know where the ball was. Look at the right of the screen. The defender has no idea where the ball is. And if he did, he could have picked it off or at least broken it up because that ball was thrown by Milroe too far inside. Again, watch the head of the defender now. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? I don't know. And therefore, he comes back, and then he misses a tackle, for goodness sake. I mean, this was just a phenomenal individual job by Ryan Williams to make that play, and he took advantage of a defender who isn't as good in terms of ball skills as the ball's coming down as he is.
Jalen Milroe was exceptional. How do you evaluate Carson Beck tonight?
Carson Beck threw for over 400 yards. Carson Beck is the only reason they came back and took the lead with 2.5 minutes to go. Carson Beck missed a lot of opportunities that he's going to be sick about to win this game because he threw, especially to the perimeter, too many balls inside where the defender was. This was one of them. Okay, he's got a receiver in Colby Young who's 6'3", going against a freshman corner who's only 6 feet. Colby Young is a senior against the freshman, and he didn't give Colby Young a chance to catch that ball because it was thrown a little short, a little bit inside. And I think that he will look at not what he did well, and he did so much well, Carson Beck did. He'll look at plays like that he just needed a little bit more.
What did we learn about the power structure in the SEC from this game tonight?
We learned that it is incredible. I mean, I thought Alabama was going to take Georgia and just run them completely out of the building. And in the first half, they did. The offense was going downhill. One of the reasons the Alabama offense was so unstoppable was that they were running the ball to the perimeter with running backs, with wide receivers, with the quarterback, and Georgia had no answer. And then the arm of Jalen Milroe, he kept hitting vertical shots. Then all of a sudden in the second half, Georgia's defense stiffened up, and there wasn't as much room for Milroe to either throw or run the ball. And that stiffening of the defense inspired the offense, and then the arm of Carson Beck came alive, and he brought them all the way back. Who would have thought after seeing those first 4 touchdowns of Alabama and seeing Georgia completely being embarrassed, that Georgia would come back and take the lead with 2.5 minutes to go? And what that tells you is that the heavyweights of the SEC are heavyweights indeed.
There are so many different ways to go here. Alabama was leading this game 28-0. Mm-hmm. Georgia outplayed them over the final 3 quarters of the game, but wasn't good enough to hang on to win. After 60 minutes of football, Alabama won the game.
Yep.
Who's the better team from what you saw tonight?
Well, Alabama won the game. And they are the better team because they had the better quarterback. And it wasn't close. Once again, I don't want to take away from the good things that Carson Beck did, because without him, they don't come back and take the lead. I mean, if the defense can hold, they win the game, right? But at the same time, there were plenty of opportunities that Beck missed. And so I think the quarterback right now is the differentiator between Alabama and Georgia. Jalen Milroe right now is the better quarterback if you need to win a game than Carson Beck.
Quickly, when I say this stat to you, I'm not looking to overreact to anything. Kirby Smart is one of the great coaches of this era, perhaps in the history of the sport when it's all said and done. He's 1-6 head-to-head against Alabama. Mm-hmm. How should we process that?
That Alabama is really, 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 really good, right? And I think spinning it forward, that Kalen DeBoer, the coach that took over for Nick Saban, is keeping the ball rolling with Alabama. A lot of people thought that'd be a big step back for the Crimson Tide. Well, those people who thought that too soon.
42 consecutive regular season wins. That streak comes to an end. 28 in a row in SEC play that Georgia has done. That comes to an end. Georgia's now only 48-3 in the last 51 games.